overemphasize my joy and my happiness. Just the sheer idea of seeing so many young girls and beautiful ladies with so much energy. It gives me so much meaning. You have no idea. I'm really so excited to be here. I thank you all for your strength. I thank you for the hope that you so gladly share. You guys are so gracious, so classy, so beautiful. It's just a real privilege to be in your midst and to take in this moment with you. I call her Queen of Africa. That's what I call Norena. She's got so much vision. I just see her on CNN Heroes. I see her on receiving awards on BBC, Nobel. I really see her climbing the highest mountains possible. If she doesn't, it will be her choice. She's got the pedigree, she's got the class, she's got the faith, she's got the dreams, she's got the heart. She has no choice but to go all the way. These girls will even do more when you do more. And I see this place in New York. I see the KUPES Conference in the United Kingdom, in Lagos, Nigeria, Accra, Ghana, Nairobi, Kenya. I mean, I see these all over the world. This is not just for Zambia. This is for Africa, and beyond Africa, this is for the universe. You should be very proud to be part of this. You should be very proud. You should be extremely proud. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for all you bring. You know, I really do celebrate you. It's not easy to do this consistently, and it's not easy hosting me. You have no idea what it means to host. I cost a lot, you know. Moving me is moving dollars, you know, and it's all worth it. I'm so humbled by what is going on here. I just want to thank you, Mom, for your office as a mother and being so strong for her all these years. I can imagine the butterflies in your stomach right now and how really happy you are. Thank you. All of the good people who have been here, the guest of honor, and all the beautiful people that have spent time with us today, we really appreciate you. Our friends, pastor, the partners, the businesses, corporate Zambia, working with us here, we celebrate you. My friend, Pastor Bruce, you know that I love you so much. If not for your vision, I wouldn't be here. There's no way in the world. I don't know how I was going to meet Norena and meet all the beautiful people here, but for what you represent and for anchoring our work. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So people, I'm going to be very frank with you. I'm going to speak to you as Africans. I'm going to try to speak to you as girls, as ladies. I'm not going to say much about that because the world doesn't care about that. The world doesn't care. Whether you're a girl or a boy, the world doesn't care. And you need to know that the world doesn't care. You This room is your easiest point of expression. It's tougher than this room out there. You need to know. This room is a necessary, very important means to a more powerful end. And you need to maximize this room. Make the best of it. So, when I'm done, maybe you may be depressed, I don't know. Because I really can't say I'm going to motivate you. I'm not a motivational speaker. How people have boxed me, you want to tell me something? The mic needs to go up.
Yes, sir.
Is it fine now? Is it better or worse? I actually think it's worse. Is it better? Okay, because I'm not hearing. But it's fine. Okay. I need all the time I can get. So, great. Are we cool? All right. Thank you. So, where was I? I just get distracted like that. I'm not a motivational speaker. Somehow people qualify me in that box. The way I like to call my work is that I am the voice of your conscience, renting a space in your head and appealing to you to take responsibility. So I'm really very hopeful today that at the end of all of this, you will take responsibility. Recognize, though, that millions have come to this world, billions. Billions have left unnoticed. Nobody knew that they came, how much more that they left. That's not the bad news. The bad news is you have a high propensity to go unnoticed than to go and the world knowing that you're leaving. In other words, you are going to have more opportunities to fail than to succeed. You are going to have more opportunities to be ordinary than to be extraordinary. Okay? That will be true if you are anywhere in the world. That will be true if you're an American. That will be true if you are a British citizen, or you're a European, or Asian. It's worse when you're African. I mean, that is true for everybody in the world. That's true for Americans, that's true for everybody. For Africans, it's more than true. For Africans, particularly for Africans living in Africa, is much more worse. For Africans in the diaspora, living in the UK or living in the United States, it's worse, but it's worse for those who are here. You know, your continent, our continent, is the world's single largest liability. I can't overemphasize that. I don't even think I can say anything to Africans without emphasizing that. Our continent has received aid and support more than any continent in the world, and we are still the world's poorest continent. Meaning that a begging bowl is not a pathway to prosperity of any kind. And for every degree of favor that you seek, you lose a level of freedom. That's why Africa produces what it doesn't consume. We consume what we don't produce. There's no economy in the world that can survive on that equation. The idea that you produce what you don't consume, and then you consume what you don't produce, and the little you produce is as assisted by nature. Meaning that if nature has not kept them in the ground, like crude oil, like, come on now, like gold, like uranium, like coal, and all of those things, we will be doing nothing. Look at us. Just look at this room. If the Asians and the Europeans and the Americans take away what they've given to the world in this room, that's the end of this conference. The microphone won't work. I will be naked. You all will be naked. Some of your hair will disappear. In fact, over 95% of the air in this room will practically vanish. The building will come down. The cameras will disappear. If they take away what they've given, all that will be left in this room, if we are alive and the building doesn't kill us, all that will be left will be nature. Nature. You know what that means? Our leaders, our fathers, our ancestors have failed. They've left nothing for you as a legacy. Now, that does not in any way empower you to visit history and seek where the doer of deeds could have done better. It only tells you to answer one question. What will the teenagers and the young girls of 2065 say about you? Right? What will they be saying about you? You know, I've thought about it a lot. I didn't give birth to a child until I was in my 40s. I have a 7-year-old now, my only son. I don't plan to have two. If you give birth to a child at 40, you have to be very arrogant or very foolish or extremely blind to give birth to 2 kids. Get angry all you want, that's just the truth. If you are an action figure like me, you are a busy executive like me, and you give birth to a child at over 40, it's completely disruptive. Your executive time is under siege. You have a 99.9% chance of becoming an absentee father. And you'll be doing it with a lot of fulfillment. You'll be speaking across the world and really busy and destroying your family. So, I don't want to have 2 kids. I don't have the resources in terms of time and energy to give the child the attention his individuality deserves. I don't have it. You know, in a polygamous home, you can, once you grow out of that kind of a home, you can never be normal again. But your abnormality is very unpopular. Society accepts it. So you are going to be an accepted error. And nobody's going to touch, nobody's going to complain. No, everybody's going to be cool about your error, because what you call error is only erroneous when the wise look at it. Majority of the people around you are fools. A lot of your friends are fools. You don't even know how foolish you may be yourself. Because we live in a flawed world where foolishness is the new nature. In fact, let me shock you. Foolishness is the new wisdom. The more stupid you are, the more accepted you are. I'll tell you. When I was growing up, if you put yourself naked out on the street, naked, people will feel sorry for you because the assumption automatically is you're mad. There's no other way to interpret that. How much more to have sex on the street? If you have sex on the street, when I was growing up, the whole world is not going to see you because there's no internet to show the whole world the madness you're doing. So it's only the people in your neighborhood where you are doing it that will see you. Your nuisance is essentially geographically contained within that moment. So you are going to be there. The whole world will not see you. Only few people in your neighborhood will see that madness. But as you are having that sex, you better have it well as one of the last things you will ever enjoy in life. Because you know that you are having sex in public on the street, your life, your destiny, your career, your entire reputation is dead today. This is the last thing you will ever enjoy. From this moment is pain and stress. Do you understand? That used to be true. It's no longer true today. Today, you can have that sex in front of the whole world. With the internet, Facebook Live, Instagram Live, you record it with a man. What is it called, by the way? Sex tape. You do a sex tape, the whole world is watching. You become a queen instantly. People are stars today with reality TV shows. The beginning of their fame was sex tape. See? And then you put that video out. What's going to make you rich? That's supposed to be foolish, isn't it? Supposed to be stupid, isn't it? But that's wealth. That's a lot of money. Because once you put a video out, 20 million people are going to view that. This is a female gathering, so you won't know too much about the Champions League. You remember? Almost naked, pretty much naked. She was a model. She's a model. 10 hours after she ran across the page, she had over 3 million followers. 10 hours after. Now, those who are paying her money, Google, and the adverts that are going to come, they don't pay her for 2 million righteous views. They don't care if all the views are frowning views. If 5 billion Christians go to the views and say, useless girl, can you imagine what she did? Well, they have to watch it first for them to imagine what she did. And when you watch, even if everybody clicks dislike, you've viewed it. She's going to be paid not for likes, not for dislikes, but for views. So your anger is a strategy for her. Your beef and your annoyance is a profit. Oh my God, you don't understand what I'm saying. People are sitting down now thinking how to get the whole world angry. Because the more they get you angry, the more money they make. So even beef is now a strategy. Anger is a strategy. Foolishness is a strategy. Foolishness now has front seat. Wisdom has back seat. When you are very confident of yourself, people are going to tap you to tell you you are arrogant. When you are very principled, people are going to tell you you are mean. When you are very prudent with your money, people are going to tell you you are stingy. You are stingy. When you are loving and caring, people are going to call you a fool. A fool. How can you carry your wife's bag? Like fool. They call you names. Because our realities in the 2000s is upside down. When we see 9, we actually call it 6. When we see 6, we call it 9. Only God knows what you are seeing right now. If we actually come into your head to interpret, to see how you are viewing this moment, you'll be shocked that some people are not seeing all what we are saying here. Some are. But this one thing I know, somebody must be foolish for wisdom to continue to have value. If everybody is wise, wisdom will be worthless. Wisdom will be useless. It's the rarity of a thing that determines how valuable that thing is. The reason why sand is not expensive like gold is not because gold is shining. Raw gold does not shine, as a matter of fact. The reason why gold is expensive is because gold is rare. It's scarce. It's a rare quantity. It's not what you can find everywhere. The reason why gravel is much more cheaper is because you can find it almost anywhere. Rarity is the idea of value. Today is about how you can culture yourself and communicate your difference to the world. That difference is your personal power. And that difference comes from your rarity. It's so critical that you think this way. And I'll tell you some things that will let you know how you should think, but will slow you down in actually thinking that way. You see, this room is filled with knowledge today. All of what we are going to say here will give you a sensation of victory, not the experience of victory. You can't experience victory in a classroom. Victory is kinetic, it's not potential. This room is potential energy. Out there, it's kinetic energy. You got to go out of this room and win and do big stuff and bring big ideas to the world. Yet, everything outside of this room, everything in this room is working for you. Everything outside of this room is working against you. And once you step out of that room, from the first phone call you receive, it's going to tell you just went there to waste your time. Wake up. You're wasting your time. You have to have another type of consciousness to swim against that tide. Right? Boys are out there. They're going to tell you how beautiful you are. All they want to do is put their hands under your blouse. That's all. I've told young girls, the next time a guy tells you, you look beautiful, or I love you, just be calm and ask him one question. Why? That's it. Once you say why, he'll just go like, why? Why? What? Z. You know why? He doesn't know why. There are 12 traits of lunacy. 12. I did a CD one time called Superior Lunatic. And there are 12 traits of lunacy. One of them is that all lunatics, whether docile or extreme, because there are people in this room, there are people you see with good suit and good shoes, driving a Range Rover, they may not be less a lunatic. They are just docile lunatics. They are extreme lunatics, those you see naked on the street, eating from the dustbin. That's extreme lunatic. Whether extreme or docile, there are 12 traits that bind them together. One of them is all lunatics docile, wearing a good jacket like mine, or extreme, naked on the street, all lunatics don't know why they do what they do. The reason why the guy is just walking on the street is because essentially the faculty to ask why has been withdrawn. That's why he's naked. That's why he's just going. Why do you make your hair like this? Why do you make up the way you make up? Why do you walk the way you walk? Who walked like that in your lineage? Did your great-grandmother walk like that? Did your great-grandmother ever walk like that? Did your mom ever walk like that? So where did you get it from? You need to know. You need to know why you're walking like that. Why do you carry yourself the way you carry yourself? Why? Are you just one of the Joneses, doing what everybody's doing, pretending to be happy? Or do you really understand what you are about and exactly what you are trying to pull? Because when we look at you, lady, we see you like this, but this is not you. Only a fool or a naive person, will be distracted by this. This is your representation. Container. Content is who you are. Unfortunately, content is invisible. Container is very obvious. People spend so much money on their container. When you pay for a drink, Coca-Cola reminds you. You are paying for Coca-Cola, liquid content only. They put the only there to let you know the bottle is not yours. The real substance that you own and you are paying for is the drink in the bottle. So this is not you. The real you is how you think, the strength of your character, the weight of your reasoning, the softness of your heart. Once those three are out, you look normal, but you're sick. You're not normal at all. You are just a beautiful sick person. They are handsome fools. They are 6 foot tall, broad-chested, empty minds. They are very pretty dummies. They are very beautiful drifters. They are artificial wig wearing, heel wearing, empty minds. And you know all of those things called container, they have a lifespan. Very soon you won't look like this anymore. Everything is going to change. Your dentition is going to shift. You won't even believe it. Your body is going to drop. Your breast will sag, whether you like it or not. The same you that is covering your body, you won't even know when you expose all your body. You breastfeed in a public place, you won't even believe it. The same thing you're like. When your son is crying and pulling your hair, you're going to bring it out right there at the stadium. You don't care anymore at the mall. You realize that this thing is not as important after all. Even the world can view and nothing is going wrong. Your legs and every part of your body will gain independence. It's called wear and tear. You know, young people forget that this is not how it's going to be. This is not the life. Everything is going to change. Your nose will shift, your face will wrinkle. Look at all the aunties. Get close to them. Go look for the signs. Go to your mom. At least your mom is a classical example of how you're going to be like. You're going to shift totally, whether you like it or not. One leg is going to go this way. You know, once you are 65, 70, every part of your body gains independence. They all tell you, we are not following your instructions. We will do what we want, and there's no stretching of our understanding. This hand is going to say, I'm going this way. You will say, but this is how we're going. This leg will say, no, I'm going this way. This one will say, I'm going this way. These hands will go here, this one will go here. Your neck will say, I want to look at the back. Your eyes will say, no, I want to look forward. Your ears will say, I want to hear something from here. That's why you see old people walk like this. You know what's happening to them? Every part of their body is doing what they want. And they've had their days of controlling everything. Through wear and tear, those days are now gone. That body is now in control. It's going to happen to you. When boys look at you now, I say that all the time. When you catch a boy's eye on you, how do you feel? You know you got it. You know you got him. So the more he looks at you, you throw your body out. Yeah. And then you throw it all out. But you know, when they look at you 40 years from now, you will look at yourself. You know why you're looking at yourself? You are trying to figure out what they are looking at. Is that your skirt is torn? It can't be your face they are looking at. This same makeup, if you use this same makeup at a particular age, you're going to look like a witch. Kids will cry when they look at your face. This same makeup. You just go to a kid and say, hey, this is... You have to remove the makeup first. Beauty has a lifespan. The constant things you will take away with you are things like the quality of your thinking, the strength of your character, the softness of your heart. Are you here? I'm not started yet. Let me tell you, when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me, you have to be the first in class. And I heard, at the age of 9, I was in secondary school. What secondary school? High school. At the age of 9, primary 4, I passed common entrance. I don't know what that is called in Zambia. I got to secondary school at the age of 9. I was going to finish school at the age of 14 and go to the university. I was smart. My mom was telling me, you have to be first in class. You have to be first in class. But you see, in a polygamous home, when they tell you to do stuff, it's not enough what they are telling you. You need to understand why they are telling you to do it. Because when you become an adult, that why is going to play out, not what they are telling you. And of course, we now know that first in class is not necessarily first in life. And there are so many people that were first in class today, they are last in life. At the hotel when we were living, Bonnie was telling me, introduced me to a guy who was his classmate. And the guy was the one sweeping the floor in the hotel and cleaning. And I said, so I wanted to meet my classmate. I met the guy, but I told him, be humble. I said, this kind of thing should unlock our gratitude. Because when it comes to it, and you go analyze it, the difference between you and that guy is providence. Just sheer providence, not intelligence, not smartness. Are you still here? Let me tell you something. In a polygamous home, you lose more than you gain. One of the things you lose is when your mom tells you be first in class. She's telling you to be first because there's a king in the house called your dad. The two wives are all trying to please him. Why must they please him? When he's pleased by either of the moms, he sends more resources to that side. So when you are first in class, your dad will be happy. When your dad is happy, he will send money to us. So you got to be first in class. That sounds noble. Except that as a child, that's too much for you. You know what they are teaching you? They are teaching you to pursue the most lofty things in life for the wrong reasons. They're going to tell you to be first in class, not for the ideal of excellence, but for an idea that is so base, that is so little, so mundane. And then by the time you become an adult at 18, at 25, you now continue to pursue the best things in life, but for the wrong reasons. You will marry for the wrong reasons. You will buy a car for the wrong reasons. You will try to build a house all for the wrong reasons. You will make friends for the wrong reasons. They will break your heart again and again. You will keep making. Because essentially you understand why it is good to make friends, but you don't know why it is good for you. Are we here? In a polygamous home, you are taught to compete. But that competition is a very strange one. You know why? The guys who are trying to compete with you bear your surname. They are from your dad, but not from your mom. I don't know how it works here, but where I grew up in the West, in Nigeria, they tell you stuff like, somebody's always trying to kill you. Don't let them touch your head. Don't let somebody touch your legs. Don't eat in this house. Don't let these guys come close to you. They want to kill you. Except that the guys they are warning you against are the same family, you live in the same house. The mom that they are warning you against as your stepmom lives in your same house, bear your surname. As a child, that's too much for you, because when your mom is going out, she'd rather take you away from that house and leave you with neighbors 10 houses away than leave you in the same house with your so-called brothers and sisters. By the time you become an adult, you will have become incapable of trusting anyone. Because in that home, you are being taught to trust nobody. Because even people who bear your surname, you cannot trust. And you're going to trust a neighbor 10 houses away. You will not trust them in the house. You won't trust that neighbor as well. And by the time you grow up to become a full-blown adult, you can't trust a husband. You can't trust a friend. You can't trust anybody. You just become incapable of sharing trust. Nobody will be worthy of your trust, no matter how hard they try. This was the type of narrative that shaped my own thinking growing up. And that goes for so many African boys and girls who all grew up in a polygamous home of one structure or the other. But don't forget, I was doing well in class. I looked normal. Everything looked good. My father had a lot of money way back. When I'm going to school in the morning, I had a chauffeur-driven Mercedes-Benz, OG 1450R, yellow. Mercedes-Benz 230. That would take me to school, park in school. He doesn't leave. Most kids will be dropped in school and the driver will go sort out the dad. This car, as big a machine as it is, he has to stay there with me. So I was a big boy. I was the only one. The driver and the car were parking. It's a lot of attention. Everybody knew me in school. Somehow, my father did not get it right financially, and he lost all that money. Then, somehow, a lot of my siblings could adjust to the new life. I couldn't. So what did I do? I went left. And you know, when you go left in life, you know what's there? Boys, drugs, violence, all sorts. I tasted everything from chewing gum to cocaine. By the time I gained admission to the university, I'd become a weapon. I wish I can explain that. I try to avoid it because I'm not proud of those things, but I'd become a weapon. I wasn't just using weapons, I was the weapon. And then my first semester in the university, do you have carryovers in school here? My first semester, I had 8 carryovers. In my second semester, I had 7 carryovers. At the end of my first year, I had 15 carryovers. By the time I got to 400 level, which is supposed to be final year, I had 52 carryovers. So there was no way I was going to graduate. And then my nuisance had increased so much, I'd become something close to a virus. And you know, on campus, the only antivirus is rustication. So they kicked me out. 2 months to final exam. I left the university proud because I didn't care. Have you met confident ignorance before? That is, you know nothing, but you are not aware. So you carry your foolishness with a lot of style and class and swag. That was who I was. Confident fool. And And I was just going like that. I left the university, I thought, good riddance to bad rubbish. Who needs school anyway? I was wrong. There's a big difference between academics and education. Academics is what you are taught. Education is what you teach yourself. I don't know anyone in life who's going to make it because of academics, even if you get a first class. Academics, though, can never make you, but they can assist you. For that assistance, you go for it. But I lost it in my final year, 2 months to final exam. I left the school proud, tried to do all kinds of things, nothing worked. One day, out of the weight of my wits, my mother came and said some things to me. Bottom line, I picked the Bible, I began to read. Somehow I gave my life to Christ. My mom had cursed me so many times. Please stay with me. My mom had come to me crying and cursing me, and justifiably so. The kind of pressure and stress I'd given my mom. If she had poisoned me, it would have been fair. If she had shot me, it would have been fair. To curse me, therefore, was a gift. I mean, I was still happy she was cursing me, because she had beheaded me. It would have been fair. I've stressed her enough. I gave my life to Christ, and my first decision, by God's grace, was to go back to school. So I went to school, same faculty, same course, same lecturers, children for classmates, to start year 1 all over again. And I did year 1 again, year 2, 3, 4. Making how many years now in school? 8 years. Minus my 1 year out of school. 8 years. The school wouldn't give me a degree. Because at that time, I was violent on campus. I was in a cult on campus. I was doing all kinds of things. They didn't believe in my transformation. They were going to keep me in school forever. So what did I do? I started the 3rd time. I did year 1 again, 3rd time. I did year 1 3 times, year 2 3 times, year 3 3 times, year 4 3 times. 12 years in one university studying a 4-year course. Same lecturers, same school, same faculty, same course, younger and younger kids for classmates. At the end of 12 years, you should have a BSc, 2 masters, and 1 PhD. Am I correct? But at the end of my 12 years, I had BSc, and it was a 3rd class. I don't know what a 3rd class is here, but just short of the least degree, which is a pass. But in that time, that 3rd class was my 1st class, because my life was really a mess, such that even, what's the least grade here? What is it called? Say, the least grade in the university. Pass? Is a what? Silent pass. That's SP. Silent pass. If there is a ZZ, like 00, I would still have taken it graciously, because all I wanted then was a degree. Before I did that, when I went back to school to start year 1 again, I was very popular on campus. Oh, you need to rewind and go back to my history. I was a big boy, extremely colorful. Everybody wanted to be with me. Boys, girls, everybody. Old, young, everybody. I was full of humor. People loved me. I had attention. I was a star. See, when I gave my life to Christ, I couldn't do what I used to do. What I used to do, I'm not going to talk about, because I'm not proud of it. All was on the left side of life. Now I'm on the right. Guess what? I went back to school again, born again. I couldn't do what I used to do. So I had to do very shameful things. Not shameful things, but menial things, like packing refuse, like making barbecues at the roadside. I mean, I was doing fumigation, killing rodents and pests in the same neighborhood where I've had a girlfriend before. You have no idea. It was really very shameful, very embarrassing. But at that point, I'd made up my mind that for the rest of my life, only 3 things will matter to me. This hand, this brain, under God. Did you hear me? This hand, this brain, under God. So I moved on with that. And I made my first 1 million naira making those barbecues. I made my second 1 million naira. I've made many after that. Now I spend my money in dollars. But guess what? All of those years taught me so much. Looking at my life now, it's a different ball game. I live in a fantastic house. I'm married to a queen. I drive a good car. I have money in the bank. I'm not the richest person in the world. I struggle in many places. But trust me, I have a better life now. I finished in a third class, but I live a first class life today. Right? Now, I said all of that. Thank you. I said all of that to say what I want to say now. Having been through all of that, I've learned a lot. I had to make up my mind that for the rest of it, I'm going to help young people figure out what life is all about. Because if you ask me, how did you make it out? My friends are in jail. When I go to the prisons to talk, when I finish talking to the prisoners, I now sit down with my friends, with gist. They are in jail forever. What they did was not as terrible as what I've done. Providence saved me and didn't save them. There are people in jail better than you. There are people walking free who are worse than those in jail. I was one of those kind of people. And I looked at myself, I looked at some of my friends are dead, practically dead. I remember a guy called, I don't want to mention his name, but he's dead today. We used to do stuff together. He didn't die in an accident. He was shot. Was killed by friends like us. Right? So when I look at all of that, I look at all I've seen, I think it's just right that one is able to look at life from a perspective. That perspective is what I want to sell to you in the next 10 minutes. Listen, guys, when we wait 30 years from now, I'll be 70, 79, 78, or something like that. 30 years from now, I don't know how old you'll be, but some people in this room will be at the departure lounge of life, ready to take the flight. I'll be one of them, because I'm in my late 40s. If anybody is 60 now, you'll be 90. If anybody is 70 today, they will be 100. If anybody is 50, they will be 80. If you are 60 now, in 30 years' time, you'll be dead, or you'll be at the departure lounge of life, ready to take the flight. Bottom line is, you won't be this. But let's come to you. If you are 20 now, you'll be 50. If you are 25, you'll be 55. If you are 30, you'll be 60. If you are 35, if you are 10, you'll be 40. If you are 5 years old today, you'll be 35. So it's okay to play 30-year game. 30-year game will be what year? 2049. By the year 2049, where will you be? Let me tell you something about where you'll be. Wherever you are going to be in 2049, which is a safe goal, because in 30 years' time, leadership across the world is going to change. All the people you know in Zambian politics, if they are not dead, they will be at the departure lounge of life in 30 years' time. I hope you know. Most of the Christian leaders you know in Body of Christ Zambia, most of the Christian leaders in 30 years' time, they will have gone. Most of the actors you know in the social space, in the cultural space, movie stars, singers, who are in their 40s, 50s, the dons of industries, captains of industries, they will be gone. If I am not gone, I'll be a sage giving advice or something. Queen Norena, she's going to be somewhere as a senior elder offering advice. You guys will be on the stage. You will be where we are now. And what you will be in that time is what I want to discuss. You can be, whether you like it or not, evil can be so complex that you won't die. You will live to feel the weight of your foolishness. At that level, even death can be a gift. At a level of pain, death is a gift. So this is it, guys. What are you going to be? What are you going to be doing? You have no idea how wounded you are. Some of you think you walk like this, but in reality, this is how you are walking. Some of you, this is how you are walking. What's going to happen after a while? It's just going to go crash. Because if you keep walking this way, it's just going to go crash. Today is to try to get you in charge so that you are walking this way. Watch me. You walk this way. Oh, yes. You navigate, you don't crash. You navigate, you know exactly where you're going. You know who you want to talk to, who you want to say hello to. You have to be that much in charge, or some things will happen to you. And when they happen to you, trust me, you won't be the last, neither will you be the first. There's nothing you are going through that is special. You go to Syria and go see kids, innocent kids, being bombed into parts in minutes. You see children who have committed no crime, hungry, dad dead, mom dead, just sitting down on the street, crying. And then I saw a child one time who had cried so much, he couldn't cry again. All he was doing was, no strength to cry. That is the height of pain, where you feel everything, but you can't express anything. You're just numb. And those kids deserve better than most of us in this room. So no matter what you think you're going through, you can't pay school fees, one boy lay you down, your dad is not showing up as he should, your mom is not taking the state as she should, and all of those things, trust me, it's worse for somebody else. You need to be grateful. So how do you take all of this home? And how do we close this? Very simple. I'm going to ask you to make a decision. Let me tell you my own decision. My decision is to climb the highest mountain possible and fly the flag of my faith there. I want to win. Because when I die in this world, most likely my son is 7. In 30 years' time, he'll be 37. That's assuming I make it to 78 or 79. If I don't, I'll probably leave him in this world at 25, maybe at 30. But I do hope, I'm full of faith that I will at least leave him here, worst case at 37. Whichever way, I've accepted one thing. When I'm leaving this world, my son will still be a very young boy. And he'll have to face his own dynasty and build his own life. I don't have time. Every moment I live is to ensure that I fast-track his development. So that when I'm leaving, though he's 37, he has the wisdom of a 70-year-old. And he will never need me again. I don't want my son to need me again. So, while I've given myself 30 years, I've shrunk it to 20 years. So I've told myself, at 27, when my boy is 27, he needs to be able to do anything. To read the stock market, to understand investments all over the world, to understand what character is, what integrity means, to be able to love and pace a girl, to understand what it means to be in the company of boys. He has to be able to master himself, pace his own decisions, tell his body what he must do and what he cannot do. Say no and say yes skillfully. He must be able to do so. I want to leave that legacy for my son at 27. So let me talk to you about the things I tell him. The first one is master your no. Ladies, master your no. The most powerful word in the world is no, not yes. If all you know, because yes is the energy of default, you have many opportunities to say yes. Nobody needs formal training to know how to say yes. To know how to say no takes another type of courage. If you say yes all your life, you'll be used, abused, dumped, taken for granted, and thrown away. What you need to master is your power to say no. And the most successful people in life are not those who say yes. They're those who have mastered the weight of saying no. Have you heard me? So say no. Say no every day. Say no every day. Every day there must be something to say no to. At least 7 times in 24 hours. If you are not taking that in, you are missing something already. Every day you will have at least 7 opportunities to say no. No, I'm not doing that. Get better and better in your power to say no. When you say no every time, you empower yourself. When you say yes every time, you disempower yourself and you empower the ignorance of those you come in contact with. It's your choice to either be pitiful or powerful. To be powerful, you have to be able to say no. All my life was gone in all kinds of things on the left. And the lesson I learned from that is I said too many yeses. I said very few no's. At the end of life, when death is sure, retirement is guaranteed, and you are at the departure of lounge of life, ready to go to the next world, your life will be proportional to the bag of yes and that of no. If it's this way, you have more no's than you have yes. You will feel it in your bank account. There'll be money there. You feel it in your peace. You'll be well. You feel it in your body. You'll be strong. You feel it in your honor. You'll be respected in society. If it's this way and you have more yes than you have no, you'll be weak, broke, taken for granted, tired, guilty, weary. Even if you have money, you'll be a suffering rich person. And I've said it again and again, some people are so poor, all they have is money. They are so terribly poor that apart from that money, they have nothing else. So learn to say no. Priceless. Remind yourself to say no. More than that, get an accountability person. A senior person, a peer, or somebody that you know has a reputation for wisdom. Don't go to that person to ask if you should say no. Say no by yourself anytime. If you feel it's no, say the no. Only go to that person before you say yes to anything. People, I mentor people, they come to me, they say, I say, don't talk to me about what you want to say no to. You don't need permission to say no. Keep saying your no. But before you say yes, come to me. Because you will really lose from the bracket of no. You will lose a lot from the bracket of yes. So guard your yes with caution and wisdom. Be free to use your no as you want. Now listen. Every time you say no to something you believe is beneath you, you plant a seed into your future to honor you. Every no you say goes into your future to multiply as power and reward. Every time you say no. Even in my speaking, when people come to invite me and I say no, or people come to me and they cannot afford me, they go away, they come back to pay me more that they could not pay when I said no to them, or when they couldn't hire me. They come back to pay more. Every no you say goes into your future to multiply as power and reward. Never forget that. The most powerful person on the negotiation table is the one that is ready to walk away without a deal. If you must get a deal every time, it's called desperation. You will lose, particularly in the long run. Learn to lose momentarily and gain everything later. Do you get me? That, guys, is how to think. That's how to think. Negotiate everything. Nobody's going to give you what you deserve. And that brings me to my next point. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. I don't care what has happened to you. Even if you're an orphan, it's not the worst thing in life. I know a blind orphan. What about that? You are an orphan, you have 2 eyes? I know an orphan who is blind and deaf. And he's an orphan. So if you tell me you're an orphan, I'll bring a blind orphan. If you say I'm a blind orphan, I'll bring a blind and deaf orphan. What about that? No matter how worse, how terrible your situation is, it's worse for somebody else. And that is your gratitude right there. So quit feeling sorry for yourself. Stop being pitiful. Negotiate everything. Everything. Negotiate everything. Negotiate everything. Nobody gives you what you deserve. You get what you negotiate, and what you negotiate intentionally. Which brings me to the next point. Get a big picture, guys. Look at Africa. I'm going to close on this note, guys. Look at Africa. Africa is poor. I hope you know. Africa is terribly poor. You know why it's poor? Very simple things. We don't build global ideas. We succeed and impress ourselves. You know, 2 boys came to meet me. They held me and they said, "Sir, I want to be like you." I said, "I reject it for you in Jesus' name." You want to be like me? Who am I in the world? I'm not even where I want to be. You don't know where I want to be. You don't know. You have no idea. How do you want to be like what you don't know? You don't even know. When I'm in Nigeria, at the airport, when I get to the airport in Nigeria, on any day, at least 6 people will come and say, "Sir, can I take a selfie?" "Oh, sir, it's such an honor to meet you. Can you put your hands on me? Can I touch you? Can you sign my can you help me sign? I have your CD. I listen to you on YouTube." At least 6. In the general floor where we are checking in. When I get into the business lounge where you have more quality people with means and substance, at least 3 or 4 will still come to say, "Oh, sir, it's such an honor to meet you." That's the life I'm used to. See, when I land at the other side in DFW or in JFK, is the loudest reminder that I'm a nobody. Nobody knows that I landed, how much more that I'm going in or coming out. Everybody's just normal stuff. "Oh, hi, what's the name? Okay, all right, that's it." You know, I have a choice. I can pretend that it's cool and be comforted by the local weight of value that I know in Nigeria, or to spark my sense of universality and know that I can't continue to pass the test of locality at the expense of the test of universality. It's a choice I have to make. Listen, it's a choice I have to make. And I made that choice. I said, I'm not going to do this. I give myself 5 years. I've done 1 out of it. I have 4 left. At the end of those 4 years, when I land in DFW or anywhere in the world, whoever sees me will say, "Sir, can you autograph my book?" Somebody will say, "Can I have a selfie with you?" I give myself 5 years. Anywhere I land in the United States, at least, just as it is in Nigeria, 5 people have to come to say, "Wow, is this you? Sir, can I take a selfie?" And I'm not looking off to that because I want to be famous. It's because I want to climb the highest mountain possible, so that those coming after me can start from there. Do you get what I'm saying? Can start from there. So when I'm doing what I'm doing, when I'm studying and burning the candles and doing my research and working hard and perfecting my game and owning my craft, I see you. I see young people across Africa. And I say, what's the model? Who do you see globally? Beyonce? Who do you see? Jay-Z? Who do you see? Ellen DeGeneres, sorry, degeneration, sorry, degenerate team, sorry, can somebody help me? Degenerates. Who do you see? You know, it's not easy to tell your daughter or your son what is right anymore. Time magazine did a report. The most influential people in the world. Guess who was on the cover? One of them. The founder of ISIS. I said, look at the world. How do I explain to my son that I'm influential? You are choosing the most influential people in the world, and you put the founder of ISIS there, who is a killer, destroying the whole world. If he comes into the room to take the award, will you give him? Will you stay to even give him? Or won't you take off? So on one hand, I'm telling my son, this is what influence means. Just when I'm about to explain that and its positivity, he sees the head of ISIS celebrated as one of the most influential people in the world by Time magazine. And if Time magazine calls you a rat, you are a rat. And then my son would think, my daddy says this is what influence means. Time magazine says this is what to be influential means. So, which is more powerful between my voice and Time magazine's voice? Time magazine's voice. So I told myself I have to raise the game so that when my son is doing the maths and he says, my dad says, and he knows my dads represent the minds of 6 billion people in the world, more than the total sales of Time magazine, then he will say, Time must be foolish, my dad must be right. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I have to meet Time at that level. I have to. I hope my family that. And I hope all the young people who look up to us that. I don't want to model the wrong thing. I don't want to give you a meaning of influence, a meaning of power, a meaning of success that I cannot defend in the real world. I cannot tell you come to church because Jesus is going to give you money. People have tons of money. They don't go to church. People have and they didn't cheat, and they didn't rob, and they didn't steal. Superior customer care, market penetration. They got the money. If I tell you Jesus is going to give you money, one day you're going to find out that's not true. And you're going to reject not only me, but Jesus as well. So we have to raise the standard. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So think of Japan. Can you all name a Japanese brand? Give me one Japanese brand. Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, Sony, Hitachi. We can go on and on. Give me a South Korean brand. Stay with me, I'm almost done. Hyundai, LG, Samsung, Kia, Korea. Can you see why countries are powerful? Countries are powerful because they have ideas that the whole world is buying, and they are bringing all their profits to headquarters in Tokyo or in Korea. Do you get what I'm saying? Think of Germany, Opel, Mercedes-Benz, Heineken, Saab, BMW, Adidas. Can you see that? Think of the United States. I'll choose 3 tables. Ford, Google, Facebook, Twitter, McDonald's, GM. Let's go now. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper. Let's go. Tasty Fried Chicken. Let's go. GMC. Let's go. Starbucks. Let's go. Starbucks? Yes, let's go. Walmart. Yes. What did you say? Tesco. Tesla. Yeah? What else? Let's go. So we can continue and we won't stop. The most prosperous countries in the world, listen, have the biggest brands in the world. Come to Zambia. Let's go to Accra. Let's go to Lagos. Let's go to Banjul. Let's go there. That's why Africa is poor. We take value from our people, and our people alone will leave the whole world. Somebody said it's slave trade. It's slave trade. Well, before the white man ever came here, we've been trading ourselves for 1,000 years. Africa has been doing slave trade for 1,000 years between ourselves before the white man came here. He is not our problem. He plugged into our problem and gave himself value. Are you here? Listen. Somebody said, but they came here and they took everything. I asked them, when they came here, movement was free in the world. Why didn't a Douala rise up from Zambia and go to Europe and go and find out what's there? Why were they the ones that came here? Why didn't a Kalusha discover something in the world and be the one to discover some river or find America? Why were they the ones that came here? Movement was free. There was no visa in 1400. Anybody can rise up and go anywhere. There was something in us, wherever we got it from, that is not territorial. We just like to outshine ourselves within our local neighborhoods and harass the next community and the next community. And we live in our kingdom so loudly, we forget that the world is bigger than it. And look at the way we are today. Look at all of you. By the time you make it, what will have happened? You will live by the beach somewhere in Lusaka. You will drive 2 German cars, maybe 1 American car with it. You will travel abroad for summer and come back and have a lot of money. All of the people you admire in this world today, there's a difference between them. Look at me. If you try to be like me, you will have missed what the world is about. Because I'm nothing yet in the world. Maybe when I stand on the cover of Time magazine, Man of the Year, or I see it on CNN being interviewed by a Mampo for a breakthrough philosophy or ideology, then it will be worth it to try not to be like me still, but to use whatever I've done as the beginning of what you have to do. Have I closed here? Now this is the idea. If you don't rise from where you are and begin to consider the big picture, the biggest thing you can do today is to dream. Dream of something bigger than you. Something that you can never do, no matter what surname you have or the school you've been to. If you are a medical doctor, dream of the cure to cancer or the cure to HIV. If you're an IT professional, dream of the next social media. We have Facebook, we have Twitter. Yours is going to be leg book or nose book or some book. But you're going to do the next social media. If you like fashion, we've seen Gucci in the world. We've seen Louis Vuitton. We've seen Alexander Delacroix. We need to see you. Some name with some Zambian name and some Nigerian Swahili name or something selling on 5th Avenue in New York, selling the runways in Paris, and having the biggest fashion shows in the world, and every young girl in the world is wearing that brand, and you are making so much dollars from every country in the world and bringing it to headquarters in Lusaka. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be amazing? Let me show you a small evil. Rewards and awards can recycle your smallness. I'll give you an example. So they want to give an award to an African woman activist. I won't mention names. They were going to give the same awards to 3 Americans, 3 British, 1 German, 2 Africans, African women. Big amongst African women. They are all journalists. They want to give them awards for the best journalist of the year. Guess what? For the American to win that award, she may need to do 100 things, maybe at the cost of her life. That award for journalism. For the British to win it, she may have to do the same 100 things at the cost of her life. For the African to win it, she only needs to do 20 things, and she will get the same award. So here she is, she's being rewarded by the biggest media in the world for doing 20 things. And they are giving her the exact reward they are giving an American for doing 100 things. That sounds like a testimony. The lady can even go to church and say, I didn't qualify, but God reserved it. You know, and feel cool. You know what's going to happen when she does that? Everybody's going to praise her. In her time, for her life, for her family, and her children, she will have done so well. But to her destiny and the future, she has failed. She's found something and she betrayed the future. How did I know? Because those guys giving her the award, they are not crazy. You know what they are doing? They are giving her an award for not doing enough. The same award that they give to those who do more than enough. They give her the award. Then she returns to Africa, and all the girls in Africa will look up to her to try to do what she has done, except that what she did was not enough to get what she got, but the standard that she used to do it becomes the benchmark for all those looking at her. So what are they doing? They are cycling a wrong benchmark and keeping the future low and small. Because the standards they will keep rewarding will not be the standard that is universal. It will be the one that is local, and all the girls will try to be like her, but they will try to be a benchmark that will not fit into the future. Norina is not calling you out to be like her. I am not calling you out to be like me. Pastor Bruce is not here to show you what you should be like. We are the example of what you should not be like. What you should be like is not in this room yet. We are not there. You are not there. We are here to show you that we are on the move. We are going somewhere. At some point we will have done our best. We'll leave you with a different benchmark and give you the baton with a challenge to do more than we could ever imagine possible. That is the challenge. That is what you have to dream about. Your name has to appear on New York Times. Not for going to jail, not for committing a new type of crime, but for leading a thought that we never thought was possible. We thought we've seen democracy. There will be another C coming, and you'll be the inventor. Somebody invented democracy. Somebody, because it's so easy to think of invention and think of cameras and think of the internet. Invent philosophies. Somebody gave us capitalism. Somebody created communism. Somebody invented socialism. Somebody created judiciary, executive, legislature. Somebody said accounting cannot be disrupted. All we have is profit and loss. I said, wait for the future. Somebody will come with the third bracket. Profit, loss, and something. Because the world is always disrupting itself and is always ready looking for actors that can fill the gap. The idea is fill that gap. Whatever you are going to do, whatever you are trying to do, ask yourself, is it enough to shock the world? Go shock the world. You can't shock the world when you do what is normal. You shock the world when you do what is impossible. When you do what they know you can't do, and you beat it flat out. That is my architecture. That's what I'm doing every day. To climb the highest mountain possible and fly the flag of my faith there. Ladies, you have to make that choice for yourself. Don't be fooled by your successful uncle. Don't be fooled by the guy driving a Mercedes-Benz in your neighborhood. Think of the guy who made the Mercedes-Benz. Don't dream of flying business class one day. I'm going to fly abroad and fly business class. Somebody makes the plane. Africa's successful people buy the plane. The powerful countries make the plane. Right? You are being trained by the world to do so well for yourself so that you can buy. Your age mates in America are being trained to make what you buy. And the buying nations are the poorest nations. The making nations are the most successful nations. They're the most prosperous nations. Make new genre of music that we've never seen before. Make a new genre of fashion that we've never seen before. Make the next design of cars and machines and equipments. Make the next philosophy. Write the next poem that is impossible for any human being to have conceptualized. Let Nobel look for you for literature. Let Nobel look for you for science. Do the impossible. And let me assure you, if you are waiting for millions of dollars to do the impossible, you've missed the first step. The first step is belief. Faith is free. Optimism costs nothing. Enthusiasm costs nothing. Once you want to do the impossible, believe you can. You know what happens to those who do it? Once they believe they can, they start telling the world they can, they start writing it down that they can, the universe begins to organize the opportunity to meet you where you are. Your faith pulls the dream towards you. Your faith pulls the dream towards you. Your belief pulls the dream towards you. And start doing that by quitting some of the friends that you have. They can take you to where you're going. They are small thinkers who only want to smell nice, look nice, drive nice cars, and live in nice places. The most biggest minds in the world have transcended that. Mandela did not die a multi-millionaire. I hope you know. Obama is not a multi-millionaire. Some of the biggest people you know in the world are not billionaires. And the billionaires who really have the money, they are busy giving it away. People like Bill Gates, people like Warren Buffett, those small actors all over Africa who just want to make enough money to rise to the office of the King Kong. They derive their happiness from oppressing those who don't have. They draw their relevance from the lack of the majority. And so they cannot feel their importance except they can find the people who will never have what they have. So it is the weakness in the life of people that gives them the relevance they know. You and I have to transcend that. You are not a mom. Stop giving young boys your breast to drink everywhere around the city. You get strong. You cover your body. Know that when you meet a boy, this is where you want to compete. The quality of his thinking. No matter how much he throws his body, 6 foot tall, broad-chested, wait till he starts talking. And once he starts talking, you see a very well-built ignoramus. And once you are done talking, wait a bit more. Wait a bit more. Once he starts talking, you will see his foolishness. When he's done talking, say nothing. And you will see his fear. And he will crack before you because he's not used to your silence. That is the highest way to insult somebody. Let him put his drama and say nothing. You feel so weak and so powerless. Ladies, if you can't transcend boys, you are not ready for the future we are talking about. If boys still throw you around, and boys still scatter your brain, and you can't sleep because of boys, and you can't move out because of boys, and all your drama every day is because of boys, you are in the league. You are just playing a very small league. You will be there as a performer, sparking the interest of fools and the naive. And you will be there, you'll be popular amongst fools. If 5 billion mad people say nobody is normal but you, will you rejoice? If 1 million fools say nobody is wise but you, will you rejoice? Won't you be depressed? So it's not about how popular you can be. It's about the quality of that popularity. So transcend boys, outgrow boys, leave them where they are, and focus on the big picture. When we were in school, all the girls who took the boys are out there now looking for boys. They never got it right. They're looking for resources. All the boys who we thought were the shining lights and the shining almonds and the shining knights, guess where they are? They are struggling in society today, looking for contracts. We are the exception. Mercy and grace saved us. And we stand where we are today, not to promote the life we knew as boys, but to promote the things we didn't do as boys. Hard work, tenacity, endurance, character, strength, visioning. Those are the important things. Those big ideas. I perceive very strongly that not everybody in this room will embrace what I've said today. Just like the parable of the sower, it's going to fall on different grounds. Some are hearing not too well, and some are not hearing at all. It's just how life works. It's unfortunate. Foolishness is an office. Stupidity is an office. Wisdom is an office. Shame is an office. Disgrace is an office. Honor is an office. The choices of mortals will choose which office you will get into. You are like a big building in front of you with countless rooms. Each of those rooms has all kinds of things. The office of dignity, the office of honor, the office of shame, the office of reproach, the office of wisdom. All kinds of rooms. Guess what? You have the keys to the entire house. And the keys to each room is in your hand. You choose the one to open. And you choose the one to sit in. The question is, which one are you in now? If you don't like it, just remind yourself, you have all the keys. Get up, choose the right key, open that door, come out, and find a better room to occupy. At the end of the day, whatever your lot is, you deserve. You are on a daily basis taking yourself to where you deserve. Whether it is a jail term or it's the White House. Wherever it is, you are going to take yourself there. Nobody wants you. The system does not want you. The governments don't want you. As a matter of fact, they thrive on your helplessness. It's only people like Norena, that stands to say, I can't help you really, but I can make you know that you can help yourself. And at best, that's all she would do. That at the end of the day, I really can't help you. But if you stay true to this conversation, you will learn that you can help yourself. All of us in this room, we are only 6 things away from where we are going. 6 things. The first one is a hand. The second one is a brain. The third one is both of it under God. The fourth one is time. The fifth one is patience. And the sixth one is action. And when you put those 6 things together, this hand, this brain, under God, respecting time and seasons, not copying anyone. There's a gold medal at the end of every race. Bronze medal is for the competitions, they are not real. In life, there's no bronze medal, there's no silver medal, there's only race or no race. In Texas, we say, go big or go home. It's as simple as that. Focus on yourself, you are your competition. Don't try to see anybody. Just focus. Time, patience will force truth and deception to reveal itself. Patience will force your path to reveal itself. Serve while you wait though. Give yourself to something. The people I love the most in this room are not those who have attended, it's those who are volunteering. Those are the guys that get the transfer of the capacity. You see, when you come into a room like this year after year and warm the pew and you go with a part of the value. Those who plug in with service. So next year, everybody in this room should be in the workforce. Everybody in this room. You know why? Because if this is the workforce, then the audience will be this place and the whole of upstairs, maybe the next hall and the next hall. If all of us join the workforce, don't sit down, don't warm the pews, don't just take seats, make a contribution. And I'll close with a sentence. Whatever you do, from now, find one person to mentor. You. Stop taking, don't be a leech. Find one person to mentor. People don't understand that. The fastest way to apply what you know and the fastest way to retain what you understand is to give it out to somebody else. Find somebody smaller than you, younger than you, and pass what you know. If you are here, you want to give water to the whole of Zambia, don't wait till you are 25 or till you are 35 when you have $10 billion. Buy a bottle of water to somebody once a week. You have started your Water for All project. Start giving something. That's how it works. If you are here, you want to feed the whole world, don't wait for $1 billion before you can begin to feed the whole world. Find somebody you can buy a meal for once every 2 months. Just 200 kwacha for the person to eat. Guess what? Your Feed the World project has begun. And it's going to grow to 2 plates, to 3 plates, to 4 plates, to 1 million plates. And all of a sudden, we're going to feed the whole world. Have I helped you today? Rise to your feet. I want to say a thing to you. Rise to your feet. See, there is another way I can speak to you today. That you'll be jumping off your seat, you'll be screaming, you'll be writing. But I didn't feel I should do that at all. The way I've spoken to you is my heart. That's why I said I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to teach. I just want to talk. Leave this place with a decision. Before we came into this room, a gentleman called myself and Pastor Bruce. And he said, the last time you were in Zambia, there was a 3-day conference. I attended only the first day. You spoke about being global. That night, I went back to the office. After the night service, I went back to the office and I told myself, I'm not going home until I catch a global idea. So I was driving to the office. I made up my mind to go back to the office to think. Before I got to the office, the idea came to me. He said, 1 week after, we were in Japan. I was sending somebody to Japan. The UN had come to us demanding on what we began to do. That night, I caught an idea. In 1 week, I had to raise a website, do a company name, build this and build that and do all of that. He said, right now, we are doing something with some partners in the United States. We are doing something with the UN here, with the UN here. He said, it all began from that night. And he said, you made one sentence I will never forget. I said, what is it? He said, you said, if you are ready, you are late. He said, so when I heard that, I picked it up and I began to run with it. That guy had just less than 1 hour that night, maybe 2 hours max. You have more than that today. Pastor Bruce has spoken. The guest of honor has spoken. The chair for Barclays Bank has spoken. Different people have come up to encourage you, to inspire you. They say a word is enough for the... Do you know how many words you've gotten here today? Over 1 million words. That means you are more than wise. If you don't go to one conference ever again, and this is your last, today you have lost your right to be a nobody. From today, you have signed up for greatness, and these words will torment you. They will chase you to the ground. They will follow you everywhere like a missile. They will torture you that if you do nothing, you will not just be poor, it will be a miserable thing, because you see, your fathers are poor, they didn't know what to do. When you are poor with clarity, that's something else. The Bible calls that poor wise man. When you have clarity and you are still poor, that's a disease. That's the highest level of pain. It's better to be poor and be a nobody because you didn't know what to do. To know what to do and not do it and get the result of somebody who didn't know what to do, then you are that person with light yet dark. How great is that darkness? So I challenge you, today, take a decision. You are not too young. Your age mates are ruling Silicon Valley. Don't think I'm just going to leave here and take a degree or something. Start an idea now. Start a non-profit now. Start one now. You don't need to register it. Just start doing it. Water for All project, support for police force. Give the police force a bag of water once a month. Just do that. Before you know what is happening, you have enough water to supply the entire police force in Zambia. That's how the universe works. Start something with what you have. Everybody has something except the person that says his own is not enough. Pick what you know how to do and get out there. And so today, I wasn't asked to do this, but I pray for everybody here today that these words we've heard, from the very first speaker to this moment, to those that will speak after this, these words will perform more than magic in our lives. We'll respond with intelligence, with creativity, with zeal and passion. We'll take action. 1 year down the line, we'll have testimony that people have only after 10 years of so much work. Time is compressed for everybody here. That with little effort, we'll be getting incredible results. By God's grace, in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. Thank you, sir.